Hello, this is Professor C.P. Prakasham, former professor of International Institute for Population Sciences, Mumbai. I will be discussing about measures of maternal mortality, Part 2, Sisterhood method. This is the indirect method for estimating the maternal mortality ratio. We are going to know about the need for the indirect measure. That is, one of the measure is the sisterhood method, and what are the questions will be asked in that, and the calculation procedure, what is the data requirement for that, and assumptions involved, and selected references which has been worked out for the sisterhood method is discussed in this. Here, in the earlier discussions, we have learned that estimation of maternal mortality by direct method, it requires a lot of errors, limitations, and then it is a time consuming. Therefore, estimation of maternal mortality requires large data, also depends upon the vital registration system and the existing procedure for documentation of the cause of death statistics during the 42 days after delivery. Therefore, there is a need for indirect technique which will require less time as well as give the more or less accurate results in that. For that purpose, Graham and other et al., which is given in the reference number 1, you can see that they made an attempt, and from the household survey data, by asking a few questions, they have derived and estimated the maternal mortality. It is by using the LTR. Sisterhood method is the outcome of the sisterhood method is the estimation of the obstetric risk, that is the maternal mortality ratio, and lifetime risk of maternal deaths. This will be done by collecting the data through the sample survey. Then, what is the procedure of collection of the data for the sisterhood method? There are two methods that are existing. By asking a few questions, that is selected 4 questions about the respondent sisters, their survival, as well as there is another direct method by asking the respondent by number of children her mother delivered and the survival status and the death status due to the pregnancy. These two approaches will collect the data for the sisterhood method. The indirect method is for the small sample surveys. For the direct method of asking questions, where it will take little bit more time, in that case they can use it for the large surveys or even including the census also. Then what are the questions they have asked in the indirect method for data collection? The first question is that they have asked that how many sisters are there who are married in the age group 15 and above. Generally we are considered 15 to 49 years of age. The second question they ask that among that sisters who are married, whether they are alive or not. That is the second question. Third question is that if they are not alive, have they dead? They have asked the question. And if they are dead, the reasons for dying, is it due to the pregnancy, delivery, is it during the pregnancy, delivery, or within 6 months after delivery? The information will be collected by asking the 4 selected questions. Then from that selected questions, the data will be tabulated, and then age-specific mortality rate will be used for that. After that age-specific mortality rate, it will be converted into probability of deaths. From the probability of the deaths, it is multiplied by the age-specific proportional mortality, and then probabilities will be estimated, and lifetime risk of maternal deaths are arrived to understand the chances of women who are in the age group 15 to 19 likely to experience the maternal mortality either in the 1000 or 1 lakh population will be estimated in that. Then from that, what is the lifetime risk and then relation with the MMR? It has been established that MMR is equals to 1 minus probability of survival to the power of 1 by TFR. This is the formula will be used in this technique sisterhood method. Therefore, we require first is the total fertility rate and as well as the probability of survival estimations is required. The probability of survival mostly used by using the life table technique, and total fertility will be used by calculated by using the mother's age as well as number of children born for that. That I show you here the step-by-step calculations of the sisterhood method. The calculation of TFR is obtained by knowing the age group and median age group of the mother respondent, and number of births in the last 12 months and number of women related to that, and live births will be calculated, number of labors divided by number of women for each age group, and fertility, age specific fertility rates will be estimated. From this age specific fertility rates, sum of age specific fertility rates multiplied by the class interval, that is the age interval, here it is 5 years, multiplied by 5 will give you the total fertility. But in the survey, if it is age group wise, the number of children born and number of women in that is not available, in that case there will be indirect techniques can be used by using the children ever born and children surviving. By using the MODPAC, one can estimate the total fertility. Otherwise, they can also derive from the existing surveys or existing vital registration system and collect the total fertility rate related to the survey time and the area they are doing the survey. Estimation of the maternal mortality by using the LTR, by using the sisterhood method. From the 4 questions we have asked, you can find out the column 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is the data derived from the 4 questions which has been asked in the survey. The first first column is the age group, and second column is the number of women who have responded for the question, and number 3 column will be the number of women ever married sisters, that is derived from the question number 1, and column number 4 will give the number of maternal deaths among the sisters by using the question number 4 data, and number of deaths due to the other causes, that is the subtraction of question number 3 and question number 4. What is the question number 3 is the number of children, women sisters who have died. Question number 4 is the number of sisters who have died due to pregnancy or within 42 days. Therefore, this will give the number of deaths due to other causes, and column number 4 will give the number of maternal deaths, it will be cause of for that. And column number 6 will give you the total number of sisters died. This is obtained by adding column number 4 and column number 5 is the obtained. The summation of the all columns are given in the last column in the total. But one thing I would like to mention here, the number of ever married sisters in which is given in the column number 3 is adjusted with a correction factor. Graham and other people suggested that after 25 years and age, the reporting will be perfect because there will be recall-lapse errors and all these things. Therefore, a correction factor for the reported ever married sisters should be adjusted. That adjustment factor has been derived, that is the total number of ever married sisters in the age group 15 to 49 divided by the total number of respondent in that age group between 25 to 49. That means the total 15 to 49 divided by the 25 to 49 of the column number 3 number of ever married sisters. With that, we will be estimating a correction factor. In this, the correction factor is estimated as a 1.2438. That will be multiplied with the original sisters ever married in the age group 15 to 19 multiplied, and then we obtain 5053. Similarly, for age group 20 to 24, it is multiplied with the 16544 with the original data multiplied with the 1.2438. Then we will be arriving at 20 to 24 years number of ever married sisters in that age group. That is, here it is given as a 20579. The summation is added and it is coming to 130752. Then coming to the next column number 7, which is the proportion of maternal mortality death. That proportion multiplied by 100, which will give a kind of a figure to understand. That is multiplied by column number 4 divided by column number 6 multiplied by 100 will give you the column number 7. Column number 4 is the number of maternal deaths, and column number 6 is the total number of sisters who have died. Therefore, that will give the more or less proportion maternal deaths will be given, multiplied by 100 will give you the percentages. Then the another column number 8, we have to find out number of children born to the women who are delivering or sisters who are delivering. For that case, Graham and et al., those people have given the standard fertility schedule, that is called a model fertility schedule, and then given for this kind of a purpose. Therefore, this adjustment factor of the model fertility schedule has been derived from the Graham and other reference number 1, and it is given directly here, and this has been used by all researchers who are using the sisterhood method. This is a standard fertility schedule to be used for the sisterhood method, which is directly given by the Graham and other people. Therefore, column number 8 is derived from the Graham et al. Reference number 1. This is given here for each age group, it is given, and this will be multiplied. Then we will estimate the sister unit of risk of exposure. This will be given here. That is column number 3 multiplied by column number 8 will be the sisterhood risk of exposure. These many sisters who have been exposed for maternal death, likelihood of exposure for that. Therefore, this column, from that we can estimate the lifetime risk of dying of maternal deaths. The lifetime risk of maternal deaths is by age group wise it has been calculated. That is the column number 4, that is number of maternal deaths divided by number of sister unit risk exposed to the maternal risk is given, and that is the given in the column number 10. That is column number 4 divided by column number 9. The last column, which is very important, that the total column which has been derived from the total number of maternal deaths, that is 464 here, divided by the number of sister risk of exposure, that is 66335.05, will give you 0.00699. This will be giving the lifetime risk of dying due to maternal deaths of all the women in the survey data. By each age wise also it is given in the slide. Therefore, here I have tried to explain each column wise. Column 1 what is age group, column 2 is number of respondents, column 3 is the number of questions. This is the input data required for that. From that we can calculate the proportional mortality and adjusted standard Graham by using other people, and sister unit risk which has been explained earlier. Therefore, when you come back to the what is the output of the entire calculations, when you look at that, that is the last column, column number 10, lifetime risk of maternal deaths for the respondent age 15 to 49 is 0.00699 for this survey data. That is 1 by this factor will give you that 1 in 143 women is likely to have the risk of maternal deaths during their lifetime. Therefore, this is the giving the factor of estimating that. From that we can find out what is the obstetric risk per 1 lakh live births. What is the obstetric risk is given by 1 minus probability of survival to the power of 1 by total fertility rate. That is given here. It is assumed that total fertility rate is 3.4, which is calculated from the survey data. Therefore, if you use that, we will be estimating that there will be 206 per 1 lakh live birth. That is maternal mortality will be 206 women per 1 lakh live birth, which is very high. That shows very clearly that maternal mortality risk is very high in this area. Outcome of the sisterhood method that we have discussed, that obstetric risk as well as the lifetime risk as well as the proportional mortality of death by age wise of the respondent woman is given. But here, what are the assumptions involved? One of the assumptions is that whatever woman is reporting is referring to the exact number of the siblings or the exact number of the sisters. There is no recollapse errors or errors due to the missing numbers and all these things, and no relation exists between the number of siblings and survival probability estimations. One more thing, that the age pattern of fertility, which has been standard given by Graham and all these things, is used for all the surveys in this sisterhood method. Therefore, that has to be taken. That means the age distribution should, age specific fertility rate should follow the pattern given by the standard fertility. And as well as the age of the respondent is being given to the age of the sisters, which is the woman is reporting. That has to be correction, that has to be adjusted, and that has to be thought of. That is, the average of the respondent is equal to the average age of the sibling, because the siblings are having, that sisters are having different age groups, and some of them might have died earlier also. Therefore, age which is being given in the technique should be ascribed to the sisters, and it should be ascribed as a, considered as a true measure. And lastly, the lifetime risk is following a Gompertz curve, and then sisters respondent will be the representative of the total population who are exposed to the mortality risk. Therefore, these are the assumptions involved. These assumptions may be some people who are considering as a limitation. Then comes all these methods are used for the small sample survey. Therefore, for the direct approach, where for the large survey, where is the limited time, where is the time is available for collection of the data, they are asking about the mother, about her children. That is, how many children do they have given birth to them, how many are male, how many are female, how many have died, how many have survived, and if a female is died, if a female child is died, is due to the pregnancy or is due to the complications within 2 months of the pregnancy related complications or during the childbirth. This is also used because here they are asking the mother about their children, but in the earlier measure they are asking the respondent about her sisters, that is her siblings. That is asking that. Both methods will derive the same calculations, and procedure of estimating the maternal risk is used in the sisterhood method. This direct method is applied for the large surveys. Then estimation of the confidence since the maternal risk is the probability of estimation, therefore we will find out the confidence interval and estimate the confidence interval for this. This estimation of the confidence interval is given by this kind of a formula for that. Then what is the end note here is that by using the sisterhood method, many researchers have calculated the maternal mortality for their survey data by using the sisterhood method. When you see the references here, even for the Tanzania, that is African countries, and even in India, NFHS1, and even for a small survey data by Maribut and other people, and DHS data extensively for all the selected African countries, and 2 in the Asian countries, and other Northeast Asian countries, also derived by using the sisterhood method. And also for the census data, this method also used and applied, and they have estimated the maternal mortality, risk of maternal mortality they have estimated. And these are the selected references which can be looked into. All along we are discussing about the Graham and other people in the first references, which is the basis for the estimation of internet maternal mortality, and he has given the estimation as well as the model fertility for using in the sisterhood method. Whereas the third references is also calculated the confidence interval of the sample size for the sisterhood method. And other methods, other authors also used applying the sisterhood method. Reference number 5. Reference number 7 is used for the estimation of maternal mortality for the Tanzania, and reference number 8, which will give you extensive information about the sisterhood method by using the DHS data in the DHS analytical report. These things will be extensively used and will be for calculating the sisterhood method. Thank you very much.